1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now we're going to have a quick word with the Éire manager, Chris Trainer. Chris, thanks a million for joining us late in the week. We were hoping to get these done a little bit earlier. We know you like to get these sort of things out of the way, but thanks a million for joining us anyway. Firstly, congratulations on getting to the intermediate football final. It's been a stellar season for yourselves after, I suppose, the knock of going down to double relegation was always going to be a danger for some big clubs last year, and a big club like yourself to go down was a little bit of a shock to everyone, but the lads have really doubled down now and put in a huge effort this year to get back to where they are.
Yeah, massive. I wasn't involved last year at all now, so I just came in January. The mood was fairly low, really. I suppose they had been relegated in both, and certainly wasn't where I suppose the club wants to be. Tough year last year. Obviously, heads will be down a little bit, but we just got stuck in, and we decided we'd just take every game as it comes for the league and build from there. And lots of different players got chances through the league, and we had a look at a lot of different people. And I suppose once we started winning a few games, and that we kind of just went on a bit of a roll, and one game just kind of led into the next, and confidence kind of built from there.
Yeah, and look, I suppose getting into championship then, a good win over Kilmac. Slight hiccup against Hollywood, but the lads redoubled their effort, and good wins against Barndarry, Kilcool really showed. I suppose when we talk about championship, sometimes a defeat at the right time can be just what you want at the right time, and it can make lads, double down and kick on a bit. And that seems to have happened with the lads there.
Yeah, we had a good win against Kilmac to start. So I was their manager back in 2020, so I know them very well, and I know that they were missing several kind of key players for that match. So it wasn't the real Kilmac, let's say, that we were looking at that night. Happy enough with our own performance in that game. Went into the Hollywood one, definitely a major road bump there. But I suppose, thankfully, it was at a stage of the competition where we weren't gone. If that had happened at any later than that, if it had been round 3, quarterfinal, semi-final, we'd be gone. So the best bad luck, I suppose you'd have to say, was that it was,
I suppose you can say,
that
the
it
best
happened
kick
then.
up the backside.
a bit of a kick, yeah. So we looked at it, and we, I suppose, collectively and individually kind of changed a couple of little small things, and we then went through to round 3 to play Barndarrig. That was a very tough match down in Ashford. It was very, very close for most of the match until the last couple of minutes, really. And then the last 2 matches have gone quite well. The two games against Coolkenno and Kilcool have gone well for us, because I know you've been looking at the Intermediate Championship for several years now, and the two of them are as good a teams as are in it, really. They're semi-final finalists every year, really, Kilcool and Coolkenno. So we were delighted with the 2 performances against them.
Yeah, and then I suppose looking forward, Annacurra in the final on Saturday. It's a huge one for both teams. Annacurra have slightly came in under the radar. People probably weren't expecting them to be here, but that victory against Hollywood in the semi-final has to rate them as major contenders now.
Oh, they're a very good team. I've actually gotten to see them live a couple of times this year, and in the championship, it's a good team that they have there. They have a lot of kind of young players after coming into their team, who are very hard-working, good footballers. I think Conor Byrne is a super forward. He's played brilliant stuff in the games I've seen them against Newtown and Hollywood. And then obviously they have the experienced end of things as well. Alan Byrne and Frank Clune, who are 2 super footballers. Frank Clune scored some absolute worldies against Hollywood, and he was really, really good. I think he had 5 or 6 points as well against Newtown the game before that. They're a very, very good team. We lost to Hollywood. We played Hollywood twice in the league. We drew with them once, and the first match we played them was we got a goal at the right time that kind of got us the win. But for Annacurra, they were right there with them for the whole match. They dominated the first half, and to be there to get the goal at the very end, and to not, what I mean? Conor Byrne followed that ball in like a shot. There was no giving up in them. They worked very, very hard, and they're a very solid team. I think they're going to be a massive, massive challenge.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, they are. And as you said, the Hollywood farm, I suppose, is the farm to go on at the minute, and it puts them bang there with yourselves. Look, thanks a million again for taking your time at this stage of the week. The very best of luck tomorrow. It should be a cracking game. We're all looking forward to it, and I hope everything goes right for you on the day.
Well, please God, things will go our way. Yeah, thanks a million.
Lovely, thanks a million, Chris. Now we have Joe Murphy, the Annacurra manager, with us. Joe, thanks a million for taking time out to join us here on such a busy weekend. Sorry, we're a bit late in the week doing the interview, but we'll get there eventually. I suppose starting off, Joe, we'll look back before we look forward. A mixed bag starting off with Annacurra, a few injuries and things curtailed your early part of the season, and culminating in a loss in your first game to Coolkenno. But it's almost like there was a touch paper struck shortly after that, a hard-earned victory against Ballymount, and all of a sudden the whole season has taken taken off for you. A big win then against Newtown, who had just came down from senior, and I suppose the biggest win of all against Hollywood the last day. Huge day for Annacurra against all the odds.
Yeah, Emmett, you were dead right what you said there. A bad start to the league. There's no papering over the cracks. It was a bad start to the league, and it was a mixture of injuries coming at the wrong time. I found myself playing a lot of lads out position in them early league matches because of the injuries, and there was results that were just barely slipping away from us. We were losing games by 2 and 3 points, games that we actually could have won and maybe should have won, and we found it very hard maybe to get any bit of a run going in the league. But to be fair to the boys, they kept ahead and we kept training away, and we dealt with some of the injuries. We couldn't get all the injuries right. They kept training away and knocking away, and we really, really and truly, to be honest, we always had one eye on that Cool Kenno match. And as you said, it didn't go our way. We basically didn't turn up in bot class that day. But ever since, and I have to give the players huge credit, handing of through at them, there's no problem going. They've built on, and they've got a bit of momentum going. And to be fair to them, they totally deserve to be where they are at the minute.
Yeah, and as I said, that hard-earned win against Ballymount, 2-point win. Again, Newtown holding Newtown to 6 points, a huge victory for you, scoring 111. But I just think the last day, an awful lot of lads came of age in Aughrim as well in a semi-final. Hollywood had thrown the kitchen sink at you. It looked like they were probably done enough to go over the line. And it's just that championship tradition maybe that Annacurra have that kept going till the end, and Conor Byrne nicking that vital goal.
Yeah, well, as well as I do, Emma, if you look back at them 3 matches and the 3 teams we played, the Ballymount, the Newtown and the Hollywood, there were always going to be battling wins. If you get over them teams, you have to battle to get over them. And sometimes a battling win is probably the best win you can have. And I thought our lads battled very well. Ballymount, after a bad day out against Cool Kenno, they got themselves up for the next time against Ballymount. I thought that was a big attribute that they brought to it. I thought the way they got themselves up and bounced back and got the win against Ballymount. Newtown, we played very well against Newtown. And as you say, that Hollywood match was huge. It was huge because any time you go to Aughrim and beat Hollywood, I think is a good day out for any club. And our lads, as you say, a lot of young lads were blooded and enjoyed it and got the feeling of winning, and it was a huge, huge win.
Yeah, and I suppose looking forward to the final then, a huge day for everyone involved. This Annacurra team, as I was saying, they've fought against the odds the whole way. Just looking at the scores conceded, 6, 7, 11 points. We know Éire, how well they've played at times this year, the scores they put up. But, something has to give. If they're putting up big scores, Annacurra have been very good defensively up till now. And that line of form through Hollywood is a huge line of form because Hollywood beat Éire early on in it. So, it puts Annacurra bang there on that line of form. Absolutely.
And, you don't need me to tell you how good this Éire team is. You look at your full forward line even. The footballers that get on any team in the country. They came down from senior last year, and I'd say that was a big blow to them, to be fair. And they're probably favourites to get back up. And any team that comes down, is the ideal situation is to go straight back up. So they'll be fighting hard for that. We're under no illusions how good these guys are. Under no illusions, but we're young. We are young. We've young lads, and we've young lads with good heart. And listen, if Éire were to come across us, we'll make them work for it. That's all we can do.
Listen, Joe, thanks a million for your time so late on Friday evening there before the big match. We wish you the very, very best of luck tomorrow. I'll be talking to you in the morning before you go down. But again, fair play to you, and every bit of luck tomorrow, and I hope things go your way.
Thanks, Emma. Thank you very much.
You're all very welcome to Aughrim here today for the final of the Darcy Sands Intermediate Football Championship for 2022. Two teams just starting the parade behind the band, Annacurra and Éire here. I have Podge Doody with me on co-commentary. Podge, it's a good evening here. It has been a mixed week enough. It's a lovely evening as ever. There's a bit of a breeze into the town goal, but a lovely calm evening for football, and this should be a real cracking final.
Yeah, it will. I expect it to be a real good, tight, honest game. Like we said, Éire are the favourites for this, all right, without a shadow of a doubt. But Annacurra will make them work very hard for it.
They will indeed. As we said, both teams just going around behind the band there now. We'll just go have a quick run through the teams there. We'll have Annacurra up on the screen first. In goal is Robert Fitzgerald, the full back line of James Keenan, Alan Byrne and Glenn Austin, Pádraig Doyle, Paul MacDonald and Sean Weld in the half back line, Martin O'Brien and Evan Doyle in the middle of the field, Shane O'Keefe, Dylan Doyle and John Moran starting the half forward line, Conor Byrne, Frank Clone and Stephen Murphy making up the full forward line. And we'll have the Éire team up on your screen there now. In goal is Billy Norman, James Woods, Stephen Kelly and Peter Keane, the full back line, Fintan O'Shea, Fiona Carroll and Dave Rooney in the half back line, Killian Keane and Dara Shield in midfield, Joe Prendergast, Dan Keane and Danny Wood in the half forward line. And one change in the inside forward line, if the way they're lining out behind the band is anything to go by. Sam Thompson doesn't start, and number 24 Gavin O'Shea is in. Sam Thompson will be a huge loss for the Éire men. Darren Hayden and Sean Cranley make up the other inside forward line. As we said there, we're just noticing that Podge, Sam Thompson played really, really well here the last day against Kilcool. A really dangerous inside forward, a heavily strapped knee in the warm-up. He did do the warm-up, so you'd have to think he might be able for a few minutes, but you know, it's a huge loss for Éire starting off.
Yeah, definitely, because Éire's inside forwards are doing the majority of their scoring. In the semi-final against Kilcool, the team scored 4-16, the inside forward scored 4-12. Sam Thompson scored 1-3. But he was, apart from the scoring, like he was getting on a lot of ball, primary ball winner, and then feeding the ball off to the likes of Darren Hayden coming off his shoulder. He is going to be a big loss. It'll be very interesting to see what to do, whether to play with, who plays inside with Sean Cranley and Darren Hayden.
Yeah, just as the teams break from the parade there, we're saying, interestingly enough, in the warm-up, wearing number 25 for Annacurra was Garrod Murphy, who's been out injured all year. And we're just going to have a minute's silence for the tragic incident in Creeslock. Anyone involved in that, we're going to have a minute's silence here. Our flag's at half-mast as well, so... A huge round of applause after that as well. We're just going to stand now for our on the vein. Well, that's all the pleasantries out of the way there now, Podge. We're down to brass tacks. Both teams about to line out. It's looks like Éire are going to play with the aid of the breeze in the first half into the town goal. As we said, that one change for them. I was just about to say as well, I just spotted Garrod Murphy warming up in the warm-up, wearing number 25 for Annacurra as well after a year out through injury. He done the warm-up, so you'd have to wonder maybe is there 10 or 15 minutes in Garrod as well at this stage?
Well, if there is, that'd be an absolutely massive boost to Annacurra. Just even having him involved, I'd say, has given the rest of them a lift, and knowing that if they do need him and if the game is tight and it's there to be won, that he's there on the sideline. And definitely, God, if Garrod Murphy comes on, Annacurra will have a great shout.
Yeah, as we said, the both teams just about to line out here. Chester wears number 3, as we said. Stephen Kelly gone back in there and generally plays as a sweeper in the set-up. We do know that the last day against Hollywood, Annacurra played almost with 2 sweepers in a very high pressing game around between 45, 50, 60 yards out. So it'll be interesting to see is that the way to go. Danny Woods has gone into the middle of the field. There's a few positional switches. We're just about ready to rock and roll here. It's our big match referee is Anthony Nolan. The time for talking is just about over in the intermediate. It's time for play here now. The ball is in and the game is on. Danny Woods looks to get hand. It's batted away by Evan Doyle into the path of Martin O'Brien. O'Brien picks it up. He's tackled. A good, strong tackle again. Ball breaks loose. Danny Woods gets the ball off to 2-3 back Scoford in there. Ball breaks loose. It was Sean Cranley got a foot to it. It's out to the sideline. Annacurra just looking to stem the tide here with a line ball. Looks like the linesman wasn't quite sure. He's given it down to the Éire men. Chance for Éire to launch an attack. It's a high, dangerous looking ball in. Darren Hayden gets out in front, picks this one off. Dangerous. Jinks back in on his right foot, kicks this one high and kicks it over the bar. First blood to Darren Hayden there. Just got a little bit of a stolen march on Alan Byrne for that one. It was a long looking ball into the full forward line from the line there, Podge, and he just got out in front and jinked in and kicked a good score.
Yeah, just a couple of little fumbles there from Annacurra. 2 or 3 times they could have wrapped the ball up and it just got away from them. And the same with the ball in. Martin O'Brien nearly got to intercept it, but he didn't. But good score and a good start for Éire.
Short, the kick out goes short there from the Annacurra men who was taken short out as far as Paul MacDonald. He finds Glenn Austin on the 65 charges forward with the ball again. Lots of blue and white jerseys around, but it's a loose pass. Evan Doyle doesn't pick it off. Martin O'Brien is there to pick up the pieces. O'Brien, he's turned over in possession though. Huge turnover there from the first couple of balls here. This Éire team, they're tackling very good and brilliant on the ball. They've turned over Annacurra a couple of times. It's in the hands of their midfielder. It's Dara Shield. Shield bursts forward with the ball. Lots of green and yellow jerseys around him. He recycles it back to Joe Prendergast. Prendergast has a look around. It's in the hands of Danny Woods. Woods solos with this one. Opts to come back out the field with. Had Killian Keane with him. Doesn't opt to use him. Hand passes a long ball across as far as James Woods. Woods give the ball out to Stephen Kelly. Kelly wearing number 3 solos forward. Has a look up at his options on the burst. A couple of options, one either side of him. It's in the hands of that man Fintan O'Shea, or it's not Fintan O'Shea, it's Sean Cranley. Cranley turns out a tackle, recycles the ball again. Patient stuff here from Éire. There's a tangle of bodies inside. Play on, says the referee. It's in the hands of the Éire man. Peter Keane gets the ball out as far as Fiona O'Carroll. O'Carroll on the burst, 45 yards out. Has a look around, goes all the way back across the field into the hands of James Woods. Woods, there's no Annacurra man in the other end of the field. They're all within 65 yards of their goal here. And it's Stephen Chester Kelly. Stands and taps the ball on his toe, has a look, sizes up his options, probably needs a little run off the shoulder, doesn't get it. Annacurra start to push out on him, and it's back into the hands of Fiona O'Carroll. O'Carroll gives the ball to Peter Keane, back to O'Carroll. O'Carroll looks to inject some pace now, does inject some pace. Dylan Doyle tackles, tries to turn him over, does well enough to turn him back, and Éire just reset here and have the ball in that middle third of the field again. It's Killian Keane, goes long across the field into the hands of Stephen Kelly. Kelly looks up. Outside him is Joe Prendergast. Prendergast 65 yards out from the town goal. Has a look inside. Finds a little ball inside as far as Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea looks up again, just takes a turn, takes his time. Patient stuff here by the Éire men. And it's in the hands of Danny Woods. Woods solos with this one, pops it off to Fiona O'Carroll. O'Carroll looks to make ground here. Little foot pass inside, looking for the man inside. Play away, says the referee. Good tackle from the Annacurra backs. They work it through the hands and look to come out with this one. And they do come out with Shane O'Keefe on the ball. Gives it to Frank Clune deep in his own 45. And now O'Keefe has the ball. Solos away with it. He's tackled by Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea does well, but there's 3 or 4 blue and white jerseys and no support for O'Keefe. He's gobbled up up, just as enough to get the ball back as far as Frank Clune. Clune, 50 yards out from his own goal. Hand passes the ball off to Paul McDonald. McDonald takes the ball into contact. Again, Éire Óg very good, but on for to give away the free that time, it looked maybe like he was probably lucky to get a free that time. Éire Óg's tackling very good here.
Yeah, it is. They're after winning a couple of turnovers already. Annacurra being, I think their defensive system is really good because they're pushing between the 45 and the 65, so they're not letting Éire Óg get it into the set-up area very easy.
Away up the field comes Evan Doyle with the ball. Again, he needs support. There's 2-3 men of it by him. The third one, but he's blown for over carrying on this one. He had no support, Evan Doyle, there either. He needs a little bit more. Wants to break into that 45 area of the field. They do need more support.
Yeah, they do, and Éire Óg are swarming in that area, so they're swarming in their own half and putting fierce pressure on whoever's on the ball. So they need support runners coming off their shoulder as quick as possible.
Again, Éire Óg look to build from the back. Soloing with this one out on the far side of the field. And it's Peter Keane picks this one up 45 yards out from his own goal. Danny Woods drops back deep, pings a little pass out as far as Fionn O'Carroll. O'Carroll already handled a good bit of ball in the early stages of this one. Forward, nearly 5 minutes gone. Éire Óg lead by a point. It's 1 point to no score. And away they come down the field. James Woods on the burst. Again, Éire Óg just look to recycle that ball through the hands. Joe Prendergast picks it up. Kicks a little foot pass back as far as Stephen Kelly. Kelly, a long ball across the field to Killian Keane. Keane looks up now, tries to inject a little bit of pace inside, but the ball just hops off the chest of Gavin O'Shea. O'Shea gets it away to Fionn O'Carroll. He recycles the ball back as far as Peter Keane. Keane pops it out as far as Killian Keane into the hands of Fintan O'Shea again. O'Shea looks up, sizes up his options. Annacurra giving him no real options inside, to be fair. Éire Óg a huge amount of possession here, but they don't seem to be punching many holes. But now, right as I said, Fintan O'Shea has punched a hole in the defence here, but again he's marshalled out to the sideline. Good play, but it's a foul. Probably had done the hard work there, didn't really need to foul Frank Clune.
Yeah, he got him heading away from goal or heading out towards the sideline, not letting him run in on goal, but I think Annacurra have set up very well there. They're playing against a stiff enough breeze, so they'll want to keep it as tight as they can for the first half.
Chance for Darren Hayden here. He's about 37 or 8 yards out. He's about 9 or 10 yards in from the sideline. He'll be a little bit further, you'd imagine, by the time he kicks it. 6 minutes on the clock here. Alan Byrne just stands in front of him, probably wishing him all the best, you'd imagine. Kicked from the right foot of Darren Hayden that goes high, and with the best wishes of Alan Byrne weren't enough, and it's gone to the right and wide. And I suppose the likes of that, as you said, Podge, against the wind, will suit Annacurra all day long.
Yeah, they'll definitely want to keep it really, really tight in the first half, and then give them a chance then for the second 30 minutes.
Bob Fitzgerald sets up to take this kick. Looks to go short, does go short, right out to the corner to James Keenan. Keenan gets the ball immediately. Gavin O'Shea's on his case. Alan Byrne comes to his aid. Byrne, the captain, solos out with this one, gives it to Keenan. Keenan again swarmed by 3 players, not fouled. Well, I was going to say not fouled, he was fouled. He wins his free. Again, a huge press there from the Éire Óg men. There's nothing easy coming out with that ball there. He looked like Anto was going to let it play on. He has let it play on. It was always like he was going to catch it. Martin O'Brien's away with this one, 45 yards out, pops it off to Dylan Doyle. Doyle cuts inside, breaks the tackle, does really well. The number 11, chance for him. Looked like, was he fouled? Penalty. A penalty given by Anthony Nolan there. That's a huge call from Nolan. It looked like the shoulder just came at the right time, but Dylan Doyle on the burst, rode one tackle. It looked maybe like he'd gone too far with Podge, and he's got himself a penalty.
Yeah, he has. It was a strange phase of play, really. Dylan Doyle was going for that free, and I'll let you go ahead there. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead, Emmett, yeah.
We're just looking at the replay here as it comes down. He rides the tackle there, does really well. 1, 2, 3, 4 again. It looks like maybe steps were on the. It's a hard one to call. They've got the penalty. That's a. But it looked like Anton Nolan was calling back the free.
And Dylan Doyle stopped playing, but everyone else continued. Then he realised that they was allowing the game to play, so he was free then and managed to get the hand pass off Martin O'Brien. But a great opportunity now for Annacurra.
Frank Clune steps up to this one. Billy Norman in the goal. Chance for Clune. Oh, he saved it. Comes back out to Clune. Surely he slots it at the second attempt. It'll go down as a goal from play. A penalty saved by Billy Norman. Norman couldn't get up quick enough. 8 minutes on the clock. Annacurra have a major here in the Darcy Sands Intermediate Football Final. It's a goal to Annacurra. It's a point there, Óg. A huge passage of play for the Annacurra men there on what was near enough their first foray into the forward line.
Yeah, that's their first shot, and you know what? Now they have a 2-point lead, and they need to keep it tight now is what they need to do.
Billy Norman goes long down the field. Ball breaks in the middle. Is punched away by Martin O'Brien into the hands of Dylan Doyle. Doyle now finds a little bit of space. Long ball searching inside for Conor Byrne. Byrne is out in front. Does really well. 2 men on his case immediately. Gives the ball back to Dylan Doyle. Doyle's about 40 yards out from the Herbst end here. A little exchange of passes there, and it's in the hands of Conor Byrne. Byrne pops it off to Evan Doyle. All of a sudden, there's a pep in the step of the Annacurra man. Evan Doyle has this one. Pops it back as far as Sean Weld. Weld looks to kick from there. It's dangerous. It's hopping. Oh, it's came off the post. Billy Norman led hopping. It's just gone to the right and wide, and the goal looks to have rattled their Ogue a little bit.
Yeah, like they lost the kick out straight away, you know. Annacurra were able to hold on possession. Like, that was a ball that should have been dealt with. It was a hopeful shot, is all it was, but it could have caused fierce trouble for Éire Ogue.
Again, it'll be the kick out there from Billy Norman. 9 minutes on the clock here. 2-point game in Aughrim. Annacurra have burst into life in the last couple of minutes here. It was all Éire Ogue possession wise up to that, but they only have a point on the board. Huge kick out to the far side. Oh, 2 Éire Ogue men collide. Brilliant catch there by Joe Prendergast, under pressure from his own man, to be fair. He's taken his mark. Has he? He has, and kicks the ball, goes all the way back as they look to build from the back here again. Now it's Peter Keane on the ball, top of his own D, gets out as far as the 45, solos forward, pops it into Dan Keane. Keane twists, turns, has a look, comes forward with the ball again. Annacurra drop right into their defensive unit. It's Stephen Kelly, solos, pops a little hand pass off here. Kelly finds Peter Keane. Keane on the solo, looks up, pops it off as far as James Woods. Woods into the hands of Darren Hayden. Hayden way out to the middle of the field. Now Annacurra won't be too sorry to see that, especially with Sam Thompson missing as well. They'll be happy enough to have him out there. But it's Dave Rooney kicks a long, dangerous looking pass into Gavin O'Shea. O'Shea takes it well in the bounce. James Keenan was fouling him, the ref says, but he gets his advantage. Little play on there, and it's into the hands of Joe Prendergast. Prendergast comes around on the right boot. Chance for Prendergast. He kicks this one high. Oh, it's a good score. It's a great score from Éire Ogue. Really well worked there. They were hand passing around the middle, Podge, but that long foot pass in from Dave Rooney really started that attack, and a great score.
Yeah, no, it was, and Joe Prendergast did really well. Took a fantastic kick out there a couple of minutes ago. Like, he's not the biggest man in the field, but he went up with a couple of lads and did really well on that one.
Bob Fitzgerald takes the kick out, gets it out to Glenn Austin. Austin finds Paul MacDonald. MacDonald now heading to the 45 down at the town end, gives it back to Glenn Austin. Austin has a look, solos. He's under pressure from 2 men already. Tries to take it through the tackle, doesn't. Gets it only as far as Dave Rooney. Rooney pops a hand pass off to Joe Prendergast. Prendergast has fouled done well. He's starting to come into this game, the number 10. He's starting to show really well. Ball is popped back into the hands of Dan Keane. Keane finds Killian Keane, the number 8, solos across his own 65 here. Again, they're looking for that pass inside. There's nothing on, they're patient to wait. Oh, Dan Keane waited for that. He's after taking a bang to the head. The game has stopped. It was just 2 lads going full belt for the ball there, and you could see it from here. He's took a bit of a bang to the head.
Yeah, he did. You could see he went down straight away, so he did, you know, so the game will have to be stopped for that. You know, Annacurra are going to have to be happy with this start, you know. But there's 12 minutes gone now, and 2 scores for Éire Ogue and a goal for Annacurra, you know, and this is a dream start really for Annacurra.
Dream start indeed, as you said, like we said, you know, they've only from their first attack almost they've got the penalty for the goal, so Dan Keane looks to be coming off with a bang to the head. There must be a little bit of blood there. By the looks of things, they're bringing him off, or they're bringing on a blood sub there. Number 22, Mick Cannon, is coming on as a blood sub for Dan Keane after that knock, so it'll be a throw ball. The ball was loose, so no one was in possession. Anthony Nolan tells everyone to get away. Evan Doyle will face up again. Danny Woods, the 2 men in the middle of the field. A hand on it there from Evan Doyle, gets it away as far as Dylan Doyle. Doyle looks up, there's no one inside for him. He'll have to check back, will he? He takes on Darius Shield, does well enough, but he's pushed out over the line. Silly free really from the Éire Ogue man. Dylan Doyle had nowhere to go. Now he has a free ball, is inside to Conor Byrne. Byrne does really well to win that one, twists and turns his right on the sideline. He's under all sorts of pressure. But it's a line ball. It must have been boxed away from him by the Éire Ogue man.
Yeah, Annacurra have done well to get a line ball out of that.
Frank Clune has a look up, pops a little pass inside. Good play from Clune, gets the ball in as far as Stephen Murphy. Always try to get through the hands there, but just doesn't. It's a turnover for the Éire Ogue man again. It's back in the hands of Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea deep in his own 21. Here comes Solo now with the ball, gets to the top of the D, looks for options, gets the ball into the hands of Darren Hayden. Hayden on his own 45 down at the Herbst end, has a look up. Again, as we said, we've 13 minutes on the clock here. It's a goal to Annacurra, 2 points to Éire Ogue. Chance for Joe Prendergast. He's starting to see a lot of the ball, this boy. He's playing really well, but he's deep in on his own 65, pops a little foot pass up. It's a good foot pass as well. And Éire Óg hold possession with Killian Keane, back into Prendergast. Prendergast again goes long across the field and finds the man just in as a blood substitution. It's Mick Cannon, the number 22. He gives the ball out to Chester Kelly. Stephen Chester Kelly has a look up, goes long, changes tack. Oh, there's a foul inside there. It worked. There's a foul there inside on, I'm not sure, it's Gavin O'Shea. Yeah. It's Gavin O'Shea was fouled there. I think it's Paul McDonald may have fouled him yet. And just as the ball came in, he was just got too close.
Yeah, he did. He just got caught up. It got entangled with him, really. Like, you know, where you situation like that, maybe give him a yard of space, and then when the ball arrives,
because the ball wasn't actually going to a dangerous area in front of him or anything. We have Darren Hayden to take this one. He's about 30 yards out from his own goal, about 32 or 3 yards out from the Annacurra goal. Sorry, he's about 5 or 6 yards in from the sideline. Hayden, well capable of this. Missed one from a similar area earlier. He's kicked this one high and he's kicked this one over the bar. We're level here in Aughrim. It's 1 goal to 3 points here. We have 14 and a half minutes gone. As I said, that breeze, it's not a major breeze, Podge, but it is there.
Yeah, no, for the likes of frees like that, it makes them an awful lot scoreable, we'll say.
Dan Keane returns from a blood sub. Mick Cannon makes way for him. There's a chance here. Bob Fitzgerald kicks this one out again, looks for James Keenan. Keenan takes the ball right out on the sideline, solos forward with. He'll cut back inside and look for Paul McDonald. He does so, finds him. McDonald takes the ball to hand, has a look. O'Shea is there again, gets a hand on him, gives the ball to Hallenburn. Brilliantly won by Dylan Doyle out in front. Doyle turns, hops the ball, has a look up at his options, again takes the ball through the tackle. Top might have been 2 hops, but play on, says Anthony Nolan. Gives the ball back to Martin O'Brien. O'Brien is turned back, big hit there from Dara Shield. O'Brien keeps possession, does really well. Gets the ball as far as James Keenan. Keenan has the ball just about 50 yards out from the goal. Sean Well tries to dink a little ball into Conor Byrne. Chester Kelly comes away with that, gets his foot to it, gets it to Danny Woods. Kelly's away, long direct diagonal ball in Gray, hand on it though by Glenn Austin, does really well there. The Annacurra defence done really well there. It's in the hands of Martin O'Brien, back to Evan Doyle. Doyle 65 yards out from his own goal, has a look up, sizes up his options, gives the ball to Sean Weld. Weld has a look up here again. There's a press every time that Annacurra look to come out with the ball. Éire Óg are really well drilled on this one. They've a line across right out on the 65, but Martin O'Brien has the ball, looks to pop it in as far as Conor Byrne. Ball just hops, hand on it, strong hand on it from James Woods from behind, punches it away, gets it to Danny Woods. Little 1-2 with Joe Prendergast, and Danny Woods has the ball, gives it out as far as Dave Rooney. Rooney solos with this one, has a look up. Rooney very good with foot passes, and just another one there out as far as Killian Keane. Keane low, dangerous looking ball in as far as Gavin O'Shea. Tangle of bodies, ball breaks away, play on. This is the referee. Ball inside, and O'Shea has this one, pops it back to Fintan O'Shea, the number 5 on the break up the field. 3 green and yellow jerseys around, but he swings the left boot with that one. It's a great score between the 2 O'Sheas there. They worked out really well, and a huge kick from Fintan O'Shea high and over the bar, and Éire Óg hit the front. It's 17 minutes gone. It's 4 points Éire Óg and a goal to Annacurra.
Yeah, we were talking about Sam Thompson missing and wondering who'd play inside. Gavin O'Shea is the one that's actually is their target man in there now, because I'd say about the last 5 or 6 balls they've gone in are actually gone into him. Darren Hayden isn't in there, and Sean Cranley
he's dropping very deep, Darren Hayden, at times.
Yeah, he is.
They're playing with the aid of whoever breeze is there as well.
Yeah, it's completely different than the way they played against Kilcool, really.
Kick out finds Alan Byrne. Byrne has followed Darren Hayden out the field. Brilliant pass up there by Byrne. Well taken in by Shane O'Keefe. O'Keefe eyes up his man, has a look. He's inside the 45. Takes on Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea, did he foul him? No, says the referee. Again, there's 2-3 different tacklers. There's a turnover there. Good play by the defence again, but it's won back by Evan Doyle. Brilliant play by Doyle. Gets the ball to Dylan Doyle out as far as Martin O'Brien. O'Brien steps inside, has a look. Try to look for a runner outside. Tries to pick a little pass. It's into Frank Clone. Clone is tackled high, but he done really well there, Clone, because the old head, I think, won the free there. He let the arm in and let it around his neck and drew the free there, and Peter Keane's going to pick up a booking here for this one.
Yeah, it's a chance for Annacurra now to draw a level.
Chance for them to draw level, and it's a yellow card there. The flick of the wrist from Anto gives a yellow card there for Peter Keane, so Frank Clune, it's well within Clune's range. This one, breeze or no breeze, it'll be a huge score for Annacurra. In the general run of things, though, 18 and a half minutes on the clock. He's just at the top of the D, straight in front of the goal. Frank Clune looks to strike this one, gets his strike off. It looks good. Oh, it's very good. It's high and it's over the bar. It's a peach from Clune. It's Annacurra 1-1, Éire 4 points. And the Éire men look to reset from the kick out. Billy Norman sizing up his options. He's going to come this side. He does come this side. Long, huge kick. It's over the straight into the chest of Dan Keane. Done really well there. Keane to get out and get down and gives it to Danny Woods. Away goes Fiona O'Carroll. O'Carroll on the burst. Gets past Martin O'Brien. He's 45 yards out. Danger here for Annacurra. He's still carrying the ball. There's a man inside. It's Darren Hayden. Annacurra just got back and turned him back out at the right time. He gets the pass away. Was it on the ground? No, says the referee. Gavin O'Shea has possession. Gets it outside. O'Shea gives a pass there. Oh, it's high and it's over the bar. A wonderful kick there from Fiona O'Carroll. He continued his run up the field. He made the burst, he made the score, and he finished it as well. That's a great kick from a tie Hangle, Podge.
Yeah, no, it was. And it looked like for a minute there it was goal scoring opportunity when Darren Hayden got his hands on the ball because he was inside. He just had to turn back. So I think Annacurra would be happy enough to only concede a point maybe.
5 points there, Og. 1-1 to Annacurra. 19 and a half minutes on the clock. Bob Fitzgerald will take this kick out. Again, he comes out here as far as James Keenan. Keenan picks this one up. Oh, he needs support though, and he's been gobbled up by Gavin O'Shea. Again, there was no support there. If you're going short with a kick out, you have to be able to help, and it's a free in. That's brilliant play by the Éire defence. But James Keenan was left stranded there as Éire pushed up. Danny Woods looks for a quick one. Not going to get it off Darren Hayden here, but if you're going for those short kickouts, you need support and you need runners.
You do, and you need to move the ball as quick as you can. I think if anything Annacurra can learn from this first 20 odd minutes, that Éire are swarming them. They're going to have to move the ball really quick, and they need to get someone supporting the player on the ball. Great score there from them.
Brilliant score from Darren Hayden. A huge kick from him from about 27 or 8 yards out, just 8 or 9 yards in from the sideline. It's 6 points now to Éire. 1-1 to Annacurra. The kick out will be from Bob Fitzgerald. We're heading for the 21st minute of this one. Fitzgerald to take this kick. Goes long again down the field. Huge kick from him. Under is Martin O'Brien. Oh, brilliant catch by Martin O'Brien. Wonderfully held by him. Has a look up. Wanted to take it quickly. Wants to go long and diagonal. Does go long and diagonal. Huge kick down looking for Frank Clune. Ball beats everyone. It's well read though by Stephen Kelly. Kelly solos out with the ball as he's done so many times for club and county. Turns back just on the edge of the 21. Lovely little pass inside to Gavin O'Shea. O'Shea pops it off to Dan Keane. Keane just waits and holds up the play again. Stephen Kelly calls for it, but he's deep between his own 14 and 21. Happy enough to play this game. Éire, they're very comfortable playing it. Long ball out to the far side. As far as Peter Keane gets the ball as far as Dave Rooney, he gets the ball to Joe Prendergast. Prendergast has James Woods running from, but Prendergast looks to take on his man, does take on his man. Pádraig Doyle steps inside him. Dangerous looking ball inside. Oh, Alan Byrne, brilliant catch, brilliant mark, brilliant use of the head there. Not every back thinks of the mark when it comes in like that. He done really well. Annacurra though just struggled to get out. Again, it's a swarm from the Éire men. Good play there by Evan Doyle, but he needs support. He's won his free. He done really well there, Evan Doyle. He was stranded and he just broke tackle after tackle.
Yeah, no, he did do really well, and you're right about Alan Byrne. Like, in very, very seldom you see someone called a defensive mark, but he was backpedaling, he caught the ball, he was off balance. Exactly the right thing to do.
Annacurra have taken the free, but they've taken it too close to one another, and it's been overturned. So little small things like that. Darren Hayden will have this one. He's about 3 or 4 yards to the left of the left-hand post as we look at it here. He's right on the 45. He'll be about 43 again. He kicks it. He kicks this one high, and it's gone up and over the bar. Another good score. And to be fair, it's 1-1 to 7 points now. A 3-point game here, Podge. But the last two scores kind of Annacurra's own making, really.
Yeah, they have. Like, you know, and that was definitely needless giving that one away. You know, I think Annacurra just they can't afford to make those sort of mistakes.
Bob Fitzgerald will take this kick out.
At the beginning of the game, Éire were conceding short kick-outs. They're not doing that now. They're actually pushing up, which is interesting.
Kick out from Bob Fitzgerald goes long down the middle of the field. It'll be taken by Dan Keane. It is taken. He doesn't take the mark. He plays it to Joe Prendergast. Danger here again for Annacurra as the Greystones men come raiding. It's Gavin O'Shea right underneath the tricolour over there. Back out as far as Joe Prendergast. Prendergast just turns, gets it into Dara Sheila. There's a good hand in. There's a good tackle. Frank Clune pops up with the ball. Little 1-2 with Evan Doyle. Clune telling people where he wants to go. He needs support and to find their way out. Stephen Murphy has this ball. Alan Byrne has the ball at the top of the D. Comes out to the press box side here, loose looking pass, but it's won by Glenn Austin. Austin done really well, gets the ball back to Stephen Murphy. Murphy takes the ball the second attempt, out to Clune again. Clune tries to pick up the ball, but huge pressure again from the Éire Og man. It's a line ball to Éire Og, went out half Clune, and that's good play from Éire Og. They're really pressuring Annacurra into mistakes there at every chance.
Yeah, they are. Their tackling is excellent, so it is. Like, they're really putting pressure. They're not letting Annacurra settle on the ball at all, and they're putting pressure on them everywhere.
Kick will be taken by Darren Hayden. He goes short back as far as Dave Rooney. Rooney on the ball, left foot, long ball across the field, finds Stephen Kelly. Away goes Kelly up the field, heading for the 45 of the town end. Oh, he fancied his chances, did he, or was it a pass? Dangerous looking ball to Joe Prendergast. Oh, brilliant save by Bob Fitzgerald, and a scramble back there. Alan Byrne does enough, gets the boo on it, knocks it out for a 45. It looked like Chester were setting for a score there. Ball found its way into Joe Prendergast. Huge save by Bob Fitzgerald, and a goal line, and a second save by Alan Byrne as he scrambled it away. Brilliant play by back there, but nervy times as well.
Yeah, it surely would. That would have been a massive score for Éire Og. You know, Bob did really well. Like, it was Chester. It looked like he was going for a score. Joe Prendergast read it really well. Got his hands on it, did everything right. But Bob did really well. It looked like he was going to have another chance then, and Alan Byrne came to the rescue. It looks like he's hurt himself doing that.
Yeah, he's down looking for a bit of attention there. Alan Byrne, as we said, we have 25 minutes on the clock here. It's 1-1. Annacurra, 7 points to Éire Og in this one. It's still all to play for here. Danny Woods will take this 45 by the looks of things. Alan Byrne just gets to his feet after taking a knock there, but I think it's a goal saving knock, so it's well worth it. Kick from Danny Woods. He's just about 3 or 4 yards to the right hand post as we look down on it. He'll kick this with his left foot, just coming up to the 26th minute here. Chance for Woods to knock this one over. Drills it high, and it's gone to the right of the post and wide, and that's a big let off for Annacurra, because they've conceded nothing out of it, to be fair. It could have been a sucker punch just on the verge of half time there, but they've got away scot-free basically.
Yeah, and Éire Og, they've turned the screw a little bit, you know. I think they have, like, pushing up on the kick-outs, I know they were pressuring everywhere beforehand, but like they've raised the level of the game there in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Kick out will be from Bob Fitzgerald again. Fitzgerald sizes up his options again. There's movement out the field. He looks to be going stand side. He is. Huge kick down looking for Martin O'Brien. There's a hand on it though from Dara Sheila. Look, no, O'Brien got the last touch. He's not happy about that. It's taken in. Killian Keane on the ball, back in here as far as Sean Cranley. It looks to be a little bit more space for this Éire Og team opening up. Fionn O'Carroll gets a ball inside as far as Dara Shield. Shield on the run inside the D. Alan Byrne meets him up, but Shield keeps going. Shot from me. Oh, comes off a hand of Sean Weld in there and away, and it's another 45. And like we said, there's just pockets of space opening up inside there now, Podge, and you know, Annacurra are under the pump here.
Yeah, they are. Like, the one, what I think the first 7 kickouts nearly uncontested. I know Martin O'Brien would have won one with a good mark, but they're after losing their last 2 kickouts, and when you lose the kickout, you don't get a chance to get set up defensively. So that's why the big hole came down for the middle for Dara Shield running through, and another great chance for Éire Og, so it was.
This time it looks like Sean Cranley is going to have a pop at this 45. Another player down seeking attention there, an Annacurra man. Annacurra would probably just like to see half time at this stage. Stephen Murphy looks to be warming up here, the number 22. Made a huge impact when he came on the last day. Sean Cranley, meanwhile, before that happens, is going to kick this. We've just about 28 minutes on the clock here in Aughrim in the Darcy Sands Intermediate Football Championship. He doesn't quite catch it, it's dangerous. Alan Byrne is back there, comes away with the ball, couldn't take the mark this time. And Martin O'Brien, just waited for it. In nipped Dave Rooney, back out as far as Gavin O'Shea. Here come Éire Og again. Dara Shield on the ball, has lots of options as he always has. It's out to Peter Keane. Keane gives the ball back to Sean Cranley. Cranley, little dangerous ball inside to Dan Keane. Keane on the turn. Kicks this one high, but this one has gone to the right of the post and gone wide as well. And look at it, it's been all Éire Og for the last few minutes, but Annacurra have got away unscathed, really.
Yeah, they have, and even Éire Og are economical enough, they only have 3 wide so far in the half, and you think with all their possession and whatever, Annacurra are just still hanging in there.
Just about hanging in there. As we said, there's going to be a sub coming in. It's one Stephen Murphy for another, so it makes my life easier. That's the only thing I can say. Stephen Murphy comes
same
ashore.
Substitution that was made in the semi-final against Hollywood. Just a little bit earlier than the last time.
The kick to be taken here for Bob Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes long down the field again, has a look. At this time Martin O'Brien gets to the ball, takes his mark. Dara Shield on his case as ever. Brian just takes the full few seconds to take this one, gets it back as far as Paul McDonald, back to Martin O'Brien. A score before half time for Annacurra would be some tonic now after soaking up all that pressure. McDonald tries to go on the burst, gets the ball back to Martin O'Brien. O'Brien just steps around a couple of tackles, goes long across the field, finds Stephen Murphy. Murphy drills a long looking dangerous ball in on top of Conor Byrne. Came off Chester and broke down Conor Byrne. There's no free there, says the referee. Darren Hayden all the way back at the top of his own D, gets the ball to Dave Rooney. Rooney finds Killian Keane. Keane pops the ball off here as far as James Woods. Woods out to Danny Woods, almost run into one another, but Danny Woods has the ball, pops a little pass. Brilliantly read by Martin O'Brien. Up the field goes O'Brien, wins his free. That's a huge moment there. Great play by Martin O'Brien.
Yeah, he's probably learned from the mistake he made himself earlier by waiting for the ball, and he definitely made up for it then. But Martin O'Brien is doing really well for Annacurra in the middle. He's their go-to man now on the long kick-outs, and they need him on the ball as much as possible.
We'll have 2 minutes of injury time at the end of this half. It's Stephen Murphy takes the free. He comes backwards, gives the ball to Paul McDonald, back into Murphy. Murphy sizes up his options. Not many there at the minute. Again looks for a ball inside to John Moran. He just didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. It's back in the hands of Peter Keane, and away comes Stephen Kelly again. 3-point game, like we said. We're 30 and a half minutes into this, and a minute and a half of injury time to be played. 1-1 to Annacurra. It's 7 points to Éire Og. Éire Og come raiding down the field again in the form of Darren Hayden. Hayden gets inside the 45. Lots of green and yellow jerseys around him, but Gavin O'Shea does really well to find a pocket of space. Just turns back with the ball, pops it out as far as Joe Prendergast. Prendergast has just lost control at the vital time. Goes down on the ball. Alan Byrne is there. Has he released the ball? Referee's having a good look at this one. I'd imagine it was a free one way or the other. It's a free out to Annacurra. Probably just lost control there at the vital time. It looked like it was opening up for him.
Correct, it looked like he'd got away, and then whatever it was, when he bounced the ball, it didn't come up well for him.
Dylan Doyle is on the ball deep in his own half, tries to step through the tackle of Dara Shield again. It's really good tackling from the Éire Og men. It's really disciplined. They've done really well. Glenn Austin tries to find a little pass into Frank Clune. Huge battle back there with Clune. Doesn't win this one, gives away a free, stops the momentum, maybe just about get Annacurra into the dressing room. 3 points down here after playing against whatever breeze is in it. Billy Norman comes out with this one, gives the ball over to Stephen Kelly. Kelly solos, has a look, solos again. Just a slow build up here from the Éire Og man. It's a loose pass and it's into the hands of Frank. Clune does really well. There's a chance here. If he kicks this, it's going to be some turnover. Was just gone to the right of the post and gone wide away. It would have been a big turnover and a big chance for Annacurra there on a loose pass across in front of the goal. That's always the danger, I suppose, going across in front of your own goal like that.
Yeah, just a bad hand pass, put the player under pressure. It would have been a great score for Annacurra to get, but that's only their second wide.
Anton Nolan calls for the ball. It's half time here in Aughrim in the Darcy Sand Intermediate Football Final for 2022. Annacurra 1-1, Éire Og 7 points. We've had lots going on in this one, huge amount in the game so far. We've had a penalty saved and the rebound scored. We've had a a double save from Annacurra down at the other end. And look, I suppose if you'd have asked Annacurra at half time if they played against whatever breeze was in it and to be 3 points down, they'd be probably happy enough going in.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, and I think what they need to do in the second half, the ball just needs to be a little bit better going in. Like the balls that have gone into Conor Byrne there aren't wonderful, particularly when it's Chester marking him. You know, they're just hanging in the air. He wants a lower ball out in front of him, and maybe they'll get that opportunity in the second half.
Yeah, and I suppose from an Éire point of view, as you said, for all their possession, 7 scores probably doesn't look like a lot, but they haven't been overly wasteful.
No, 3 wides is all they've had as well. Like, you know, so that's probably a testament to Annacurra's defending like that. They haven't allowed them to get the shot off, and they've made them work really, really hard despite all the possession they've had.
Yeah, look, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back with the second half of this one. There's going to be a cracking game in store here, so don't go anywhere. It's Annacurra 1-1, Éire 7 points. We'll see you shortly.
Our GAA. We all belong here, in this place, at this time. We belong not because of who we are or where we come from. Being here means belonging. Belonging means knowing you're part of a community that has a place for all. Where potential is nurtured, where individuals become teams, who honour the legacy of those who went before and strive to build a legacy of their own. Some of us play, some of us used to play, some of us never played. We all belong. Belonging means having a voice, means being able to say what you think is right, being listened to. Belonging means respecting each other, means being there for each other, on the pitch, off the pitch. Belonging means rolling our sleeves up and doing what needs to be done. We all belong, whether it's our first day or our 100th year. We all belong here, because this place belongs to us all. Our GAA, where we all belong. We all need somewhere. We who live for the day that might never come.
Are you excited?
We who go back again and again to where we come from.
Well, lads, what's the crack?
We who won't stop until we're unstoppable.
Very nice shoes tonight.
We who will never say no to getting stuck in.
You got it all free?
Yeah.
We who pass on every tradition and skill that was passed on to us. We who love the days that come forever. Him, her, them, us. We all need somewhere that belongs to us all. GAA, where we all belong.
You're all very welcome back here for the second half of the Darcy Sands Intermediate Football Championship Final. Annacurra 1-1, Éire Óg 7 points. It's a 3-point game, Éire Óg 3 points up. Huge amount of possession for Éire Óg in that first half. Annacurra dealing with it really well. Probably rode their luck a little bit near the end of that first half, but it's still only a 3-point game. Whoever breezes in, Annacurra have it. They're out really quickly, the two teams, Podge. We're going to get ready to rock and roll here in a minute. It's all to play for now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Annacurra will be happy enough with the first half. They're only 3 points down. Playing with the breeze is actually getting stiffer. So, it is all to play for in the second half.
Anton Nolan just checks his watches. He has a look around. It looks like we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Alan Byrne is on Darren Hayden, as he has been since he got off the bus, as the fella says. Ball is in, game is on, ball breaks in the middle of the field. Evan Doyle takes it at the second attempt. Good play by Doyle, takes 2 or 3 heavy hits there. Ball is turned over. Again, there's great tackling going in from Éire Óg. This one though, judged the free. Long ball from Martin O'Brien into John Moore. Moore now in front, pops the ball off here as far as Shane O'Keefe. O'Keefe goes long, high ball in as far as Frank Clune gets a hand to it, gets it to Conor Doyle. Doyle stands up again, 3 men around him. He needs support. Doyle ball is there. He's let go of it. It's on the ground, but it's a free out. And it's Conor Byrne, it's huge frustration there for Conor, but he was gobbled up by 3 players. He needed support there, Podge.
Yeah, he did.
It's a loose pass.
Off the ground by Killian Keane. But you're right, Conor Byrne got the ball and he was swarmed by 3 Éire Óg players, and that was not a mistake, Killian, to pick it straight off the ground.
Huge mistake. Ball played short across the ground to him. Had to make the effort to put the toe under it. Anton Nolan was all over that one. It'll be a free to Frank Clune. Chance for Clune to close the gap here. Kicked high and kicked over the bar. Down into the town end. The Annacurra men kicking this half. A minute on the clock. 1-2 to Annacurra. 7 points there. Oh, Billy Norman to take the kick out. And all the talk before this one about how hot favourites Éire Óg were. The longer Annacurra hang in here, the more nervy this is going to get.
Yeah, no, they need to keep it nice and tight now for the next, say, even 10 minutes.
Huge catch again by Martin O'Brien. What a game he's having. Gets the ball off to Stephen Murphy. He claimed the mark and just...
And then he played on, and there's a mistake players make, and to tell you the truth, I think it's a tough rule.
Just given the ball is coming back to Martin here.
He's allowing them to take the mark.
He's allowing them to take the mark, so... Yeah, he's taking the mark from where it was. But to be fair, Annacurra, Stephen Murphy was in all sorts of space there. It's probably done Éire Óg a favour. Ball is in again, Chester Kelly. Oh, brilliant play by Kelly. A heavy bang to the face of Conor Byrne there in the middle of that. Kelly done really well. Got 2 hands on 2 balls there. Dylan Doyle and Stephen Kelly just testing the strength of their shoulders there.
Yeah, no...
Conor Byrne took a bang to the face as he fell there into the back of Stephen Kelly.
Yeah, it was Chester did really well, He competed for the first one, and then when it looked like what was it? Was it Dylan Doyle was coming in or whoever it was? He dived and punched the ball away. Great bravery by Chester.
Yeah, Conor Byrne just receiving attention there. Dave Rooney has the ball in his hands. He's bringing it a long way up the field. He's going to talk to his manager and have a quick chat with him. So, as we said, Conor Byrne looks to be coming to a little bit. Just about 3 minutes on the clock here. It's a 2-point game here. Byrne is up. Whatever message Chris Traynor had, he's given it to Dave Rooney, and he's given it to James Woods. Ball up the line to Joe Prendergast, back into Dave Rooney. Rooney 65 yards out from his own goal here. Hand pass across to Dara Shield. Shield takes the ball and turns, steps inside and steps back outside again, looking to set up an attack here. Dangerous direct looking ball in Aughrim, hand in by Paul MacDonald and Gavin O'Shea. Ball carries out over the line. Went off the hand of Paul MacDonald last. The linesman, he's right on that one, to be fair. Oh, tangle of players just behind the referee there. They almost clattered into him. As Darren Hayden has the ball right on the sideline. He's about 23 or 4 yards out on that scoreboard side. Picks a lovely pass into Joe Prendergast. All opened up a bit for him. Gets the ball out to Gavin O'Shea. Big block down there by Alan Byrne. Byrne produces a big touch there out as far as Sean Cranley. Cranley, top of the D, kicks this one high into the hands of Bob Fitzgerald. Taken well by Fitzgerald. And away comes Paul MacDonald with that one. Annacurra again live to fight another day. It's hectic stuff in there. It's out of the hands though. Sean Well, ball breaks inside. Little pass inside as far as Dara Shield. Chance for Shield. Brilliant. Brought down by Martin O'Brien. It's all hands to the pump back there for Annacurra. Brilliant stout defending by them. It's Danny Woods again comes up with the ball. It's out into the hands of Fionn O'Carroll. O'Carroll right on the 45 gives the ball to Dan Keane. Danny Woods takes the pass, steps inside the tackle of Stephen Murphy, out as far as Dave Rooney. Rooney looks to pick a pass inside. James Keenan gets his hand on this one, knocks it away. It's still alive. Evan Doyle goes in with the tackle, picks up the ball and comes away. If Annacurra come away with this, it's a huge moment in the game. You'd have to imagine they do come away with the captain. Alan Byrne gives the ball to Dylan Doyle. Doyle down the field, gets it out as far as Shane O'Keefe. You're playing on an advantage. He doesn't know that. He can't see behind him. Turns back with the ball, needs support, gets that support from his number 5, Pádraig Doyle. Doyle steps inside, loose looking hand pass, but it's well won by Frank Clune. Clune now in all sorts of trouble, pops a little ball off to Shane O'Keefe. O'Keefe does really well, playing on an advantage again, knocked away from by Dara Shield. Huge passage of play there for the Annacurra men. They were soaking up pressure, blocks everywhere, hands in, and get the ball down the field and win a free here. I know it's only in the middle of the field, but that's a massive couple of minutes.
It looked like Éire were all over them there. They turned the ball over. Martin O'Brien got in a great block. Then Evan Doyle won the ball that had no right to win. And then you had Shane O'Keefe then spinning over tackle and winning the free.
Ball is loose and it's out. Martin O'Brien gets to it first, does enough to get the ball to Shane O'Keefe. Good play again. Annacurra just hold possession. Little things starting to go the Annacurra men's way. Frank Clune looks for a free. Frank Clune gets a free, does really well. Takes it quick into Stephen Murphy, has the ball. Top of the D, takes his chance. I thought he was going to shoot, pops a pass off. First Conor Byrne. Byrne kicks this one high. Is it going to the left of the post? It's off the post. Ball breaks inside. John Moran reacts first. Chester Kelly goes down, picks up that ball, does really well. Points to where it should go from Dave Rooney's foot. That's out to Danny Woods. Woods has the ball again. Stephen Murphy is on his case. Murphy sizes him up. Woods solos with the ball. Murphy tries to get to him. Shane O'Keefe tries to get to him. Play away to the referee. The ball is in the hands of Joe Prendergast. 45 yards out. Pádraig Doyle tries to keep with him in a foot race. Does well. Looks for a little pass inside. It's dangerous into the hands of Sean Cranley. Cranley blasted high and over the bar. Again, that was probably a half goal chance for a split second. I think Sean Cranley didn't realise he had as much time as he had there.
Yeah, because he did. He'd lost James Keenan, so he had. And I see Shane O'Keefe is after. He's coming off here. Looks like a hamstring injury.
Change on the Annacurra side. It'll be James O'Keefe coming on. I think is. I'm not sure. The player's gone away. We'll sort that out in a minute. Paul MacDonald has the ball. It was a short kick out. Glenn Austin gets the ball. He's turned over though by Darren Hayden. There's danger here. This time Sean Cranley realises he has the chance. Will he put it away? Right foot. Brilliant save by Bob Fitzgerald. Annacurra completely living on their nerves there, but it'll be a free in. A free in for a pull back, and it's number 21. Kevin Healy is coming on for Shane O'Keefe. It's real championship stuff here.
Yeah, it is. And Bob Fitzgerald to the rescue again. And obviously, Bob is a big man there, and you think you'd be able to place it by him easy enough, but he gets down really quick and pulls off another great save.
It'll be a free for Darren Hayden. He'll be about 5 or 6 yards to the left-hand side of the post as we look ahead, kicking into the Harps end. He's about 27 or 8 yards out. Well kickable. The breeze is not that strong that he shouldn't be able to kick this one. We're 7.5 minutes into the second half here. This one is kicked high and it's gone to the right of the post and wide. It's just snuck away, and Annacurra, like we said, they're living on their nerves there, but there just doesn't seem to be that killer instinct that they're all at the minute either.
No, they can't manage to pull away. They can't get that key score, and a goal would be really a key score for Éire. They're 3 points up now, and if they went 6 points up, it'd be really tough for Annacurra.
And they've had 2 huge chances there in the last couple of minutes. Long kick down the field. Stephen Murphy goes for ball, breaks away, on into the hands of Fintan O'Shea. Away come Éire again. They seem to be finding their rhythm though. We might be speaking too early. Gavin O'Shea is out in front, pops it back to Joe Prendergast. Prendergast sizes up his options, pops a little pass off to Dave Rooney. Rooney turns out a tackle, fires the ball across the field into Peter Keane. Long fist pass over to the far side as they look to reset in the hands of Killian Keane. Keane gets to the 45. No one comes to him. He'll probably but fancy his chances, will he? No. Pops a little pass off to Darren Hayden. Hayden gets to the 21, breaks one tackle, gives the ball back into Killian Keane. Keane will fancy his chances now, but again it's into the arms of Bob Fitzgerald here, out and away comes Pádraig Doyle with the ball, pops it away to Stephen Murphy. Annacurra look to build from the back here as Éire Óg funnel back. They need runners, they need movers. It's Evan Doyle on the ball, 45 yards out from his own goal. Darren Hayden gets a hand in and knocks the ball away. Doyle tries to go down on the ball again. There's 3 blue and white jerseys and not a lot of support for Doyle. It's in the hands of Danny Woods. Woods solos into the 45, breaks the tackle, fends off his man, but fends him off illegally, says Anton Nolan, and another let off for the Annacurra man.
Yeah, just looking at Darren Hayden there and why Annacurra find it so difficult. Like, he was 10-15 yards behind Evan Doyle, sprints after him, puts pressure on him, turns the ball over, and McDonald did well there now, because definitely a free out. Danny Woods kind of pushing him off.
A rugby fend off almost. So Martin O'Brien has the ball in his hand, gives the ball to Kevin Healy. Healy again under huge pressure the minute he gets the ball. There's not a minute here. Alan Byrne looks to make a burst forward, 1-2 with Martin O'Brien. Tries to take the ball into the tackle, tries a fend off of his own. It wasn't as direct as the last one. He gets away with long ball down the field in as far as John Moran. It's not sticking in there though, and out comes Peter Keane with the ball. He'll give it to Billy Norman. Norman right down the goal there at the far end has Stephen Kelly off his shoulder. Stephen Kelly solos with this one, has a look, hand passes the ball out as far as James Woods. Woods solos, has a look, and Éire Óg's turn to build from the back here. Dave Rooney has this one. Rooney pops the pass to Danny Woods. Woods has been all over this field in Aughrim here today. He's had a huge bearing on things, to be fair to him, and now into the hands of Dan Keane. Keane fires the ball up the line as far as Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea on the run. Glenn Austin pushes him in the back. You could see it coming for about 5 yards.
Yeah, you could, and I think everybody knew he was going to foul him actually, and you know, probably didn't need to do it. Probably had Fintan O'Shea kind of out near the sideline. This kind of lets Éire Óg slow it down a bit now and try and build something.
Joe Prendergast has the ball in his hands. He's 3 or 4 yards in the sideline. He throws it out to Darren Hayden. Hayden is going to have a go at this one. He's about 27 or 8 yards out. Tough angle enough. Will he give and go? Or Dan Keane looks set. Joe Prendergast is now free inside, but he comes all the way back to Dave Rooney with this one. Rooney is tackled by Dylan Doyle. Ball goes cross field to that man Woods again. Solos forward the ball. Kevin Healy tries to tackle. Long loop and hand pass again. Martin O'Brien was watching Darren Hayden. It was a loose hand pass, but Éire Óg have got away with it. Dave Rooney does enough to win the free there, and that was a ball that could have been turned over.
Yeah, Martin O'Brien was looking at Darren Hayden, and if he had to realise that was a stray hand pass, I'd say he would have been on it, but you know, another chance for Darren Hayden to kick a score.
It's 1-2 to Annacurra. It's 8 points here now. He goes short inside as far as Killian Keane. Put a ball back to Fiona Carroll. Carroll on the score sheet already here. Kicks this one high and kicks this one over the bar. The umpires had a look at it. It's gone high and over the bar. A second score for Fiona Carroll from centre back. A huge score. It puts 4 points in it here. It's 1-2 to Annacurra. 9 points to Éire Óg. 11 and a half minutes on the clock. And it's really hard work out there. Annacurra are making Éire Óg earn every single scrap that's going out there. A long ball down the field. It's gone over everyone. Yeah. Looks like a push in the back. It is a push in the back, says the referee. Ball is thrown back, knocked away a couple of times. Anton Nolan's going to bring it with him when he picks it up and leave it down a little bit closer to the danger area. Stephen Murphy will take this one. Gives it back to Kevin Healy. You can imagine Stephen Murphy will have to go in around the danger area. Healy looks to be going to fancy his chances here with the breeze outside him. He's a huge distance out. He goes short after that, gives the ball to Martin O'Brien. O'Brien solos forward, pops it off here as far as Sean Weld. Weld has a look. He goes long diagonal ball in. It's not quite in front of the goal, but it's that high ball in on top of Chester again, and there's getting no value whatsoever out. Breaks away and it's in the hands of Darren Hayden. Hayden solos up the field. Evan Doyle goes to try and track his run and cut him off. Oh, Hayden does really well, cuts inside. He's playing an advantage. Chance for him to pop a ball off into Dan Keane here. Danger for Annacurra. Kicks this one high and it goes to the left and wide again for Éire Óg. A brilliant move up the field, but no end product.
No, and we're talking about the fact that Annacurra are making Éire Óg work so hard for it. But Éire Óg are actually doing the same to Annacurra. They're making them work really hard just to get the ball out of the defence, you know. Two teams working really, really hard.
Bob Fitzgerald kicks this one huge, long ball down the field. Ball breaks off a hand there. It's hard to see who he hit last. Stephen Murphy tries to keep it in play. He's pushed in the back though, does enough. It'll be a little slap back there. In fairness, Stephen Murphy was going to take that free quick, and the Éire man grabbed his arm and he slapped back. There's a push over underneath the stand there now. Little bit of messing going on there at this stage. All still to play for here. No one needs to get into any funny business, as the fella says, because if you get sent off in the county final, it's not funny. Martin O'Brien, I think, is being spoke to over there. I think he just made a bit of a rash push on Dave Rooney from how he could see.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with whatever happened there anyway. Another sub in for Annacurra.
Yeah,
Shane McAllister. For John Moran.
Yeah, number 12, John Moran, has gone off there for Shane McAllister. So
Looks like Glenn Austin will probably move further up the field. Shane McAllister will go into the full back line.
yeah, there's everyone. There's a huge bundle of players in for this throw-in over here. I don't know what two he's going to pick out to throw it in between. There's two lads here. Martin O'Brien is on just after receiving a yellow card. And I think his day could be over, because whatever he's done it right in front of Anton Strejreka. Silly thing to do. Game still in the mental pot, everything.
You know, he took a little bit of a rattle off Dan Keane there while they were waiting for the throw in, like, but you know, geez, you just have to keep your head.
Yeah, and that's a huge loss. He's playing such a huge game for them as well. And ball breaks inside. Frank Clune is out around the middle of the field now. It's free, and it's won by Éire.
Martin O'Brien is after having a fantastic game for Annacurra, because he's won go-to man on their own kick-outs. He's won a couple of Éire kick-outs, interceptions. You know, he's had a great game up until now.
Just 30 seconds is all it was. You know, a needless push under the stand, and you know, another bit of a dig maybe then at Daniel Keane over there waiting for a throw-in. And look, it's put Annacurra under huge pressure now. 15 minutes on the clock. It's 1-2 to Annacurra, 9 points to Éire. Fiona Carroll on the ball for the Éire men. Into the hands of Peter Keane here. They'll try and play keep ball. They're going to try and just probably suck the life out of Annacurra now, bring him back and forward the field, and then hit him with pace, and that's what they're doing. Dara Shield is away with this, and he's a runner. James Woods off his shoulder. Woods finds space. Chance for them here if it opens up. Oh, it's stopped in the middle there by Stephen Murphy. Murphy does really well, and it's a free out to Annacurra. That's a really good moment there, and there's all sorts of messing starting to go on here. Murphy done really well there. There was an overlap there, and they were through if he hadn't done what he done. To be
Oh yeah, but to tell you the truth now, but I think it was a hospital pass that was given to Joe Prendergast there. You know, 3 Annacurra lads coming around him.
Especially with a fella the size of Stephen Murphy on the premises as well. You know,
definitely, yeah.
Tage Shanahan enters the fray for Éire. Sean Cranley leaves. Cranley had those 2 chances there. He was probably in the space, so he kicked the point with one, and then the goal chance. He could have put the game to bed, pretty much.
Yeah, it looks like they'll move Fintan O'Shea further up the field is what they're going to do, and because Tate Shanahan will go into the backs anyway. He's gone wing back, and Glenn Austin actually, who's gone up to wing forward.
Sean Weld has the ball underneath the stand. Solos with needs support, gets the ball away to James Keenan. Keenan comes raiding up the field now. This is what Annacurra need to do. Caution to the wind. It's back in the hands of Dylan Doyle. Doyle has a look at the post, kicks this one high and kicks it over the bar. A huge answer. 1-3 now to 9 points. 3-point game here again, and brilliant flow and move up the field by the Annacurra men.
Yeah, that's the first score from play now from Annacurra, because the rest of them are all come from Frank between penalty and freeze. So, but badly needed score.
Greystones go short with the ball. Ball comes up the field. It's in the hands of Killian Keane. There's all little bits and pieces of messing going on off the ball here, so just trying to keep an eye on everything. Fiona Carroll gets the ball, comes away with, gives it to Joe Prendergast. Long boot pass all across the field there as far as Stephen Kelly. Kelly solos with this one, has a look up, pops a pass off to Tage Shanahan, does well enough. Again, Annacurra get numbers around the man on the ball. They do really well. They turn them back at 65 yards out, gets the ball across to Danny Woods. Woods fires the ball across as far as James Woods. It's Éire with the extra man now, just looking to eke, the legs out of Annacurra and try and get a couple of scores to kill this game, but it hasn't come easy. Annacurra have threw the kitchen sink at them up to now. It's Peter Keane. Keane comes forward from the middle of the field, gets the ball in to Fintan O'Shea. Lovely pass inside as far as Darren Hayden. Hayden looks to take on his man, gets back inside. There's a bit of a trip on the ball there, and it's a free in. A free into the Greystones men, and this one will just ease them to 4 points again.
Yeah, you know, and it's going to be really hard for Annacurra, you know, like, you know, see, Darren, that's probably his first time to get the ball that close to goal since probably the goal chance in the first half. Like, there was numbers there for Annacurra, and we'll say it was a tangle of legs that ended up tripping him. If it was anything with any intent, it probably should be a card, but obviously it wasn't.
And again, I think it was cuteness from an
Well, yeah,
experienced player as well as that, you know.
Yeah, this will put them 4 points up, so...
10 points there, 1-3 to Annacurra. We've 19 minutes on the clock, 11 to go in the Darcy Sands Intermediate Football Final of 2022. Éire just easing to 4 points out, 14 men Annacurra. A red card minutes ago. They're doing their best, as they have done all through this. It's not going to be easy from here on out. Stephen Murphy's under this one. Brilliant catch by Murphy. Ball breaks from his grasp on. Those little breaks now starting to fall the way of the Éire when Dave Rooney is all over. Rooney solos around and has a look at his options. Gets the ball to Killian Keane. Keane pops a pass off to Fionn O'Carroll, back to Keane, and again, as we said, Éire now able to play this game with the extra man and just try and sap the energy out of the Annacurra men. James Woods comes forward. Good hand on it by Kevin Healy. Has he done enough? No, he hasn't. It's won by James Woods though. Good play by Woods, twists and turns, but again it's a turnover. Brilliant play by the Annacurra backs again, and away they come. Sean Weld with this one. Weld is fouled. It'll be a free up. Weld has gone down injured as well, so Stephen Murphy just asking him how bad he is. It's a cramp he has on that far side, so we'll have a break in play here. Just about 10 minutes to go, and as we said, it's going to be very hard for Annacurra from here. Pat.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it was Conor Byrne that won that turnover there on James Wood eventually. Like, you know, and you know, that's on his own 45-metre line. Like, and he had to turn around then and get up the field. Like, he's actually back inside the 20-metre line, but like, fierce hard work, like, to keep going doing that.
It's savage working first. Dylan Doyle's out in front of Chester this time. Does really well. Takes Chester on right between the 14 to 21 again. Two men they can afford to have back there. One of them is Peter Keane. Dylan Doyle has done really well. He's got in along the end line. He was dragged down there now. There's a decision to be made here by Anton Nolan. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a black card, would you? No, he seems to be happy enough with the free.
Yeah, I think he's got away with that, actually.
I think he's got away with one there because Peter's on the yellow card from earlier in the first half, so you know, I think he probably has got away with. Frank Clune will take this kick. 21 minutes gone here. Kicks it high into the evening sun. It's gone high, it's gone over the bar. It's 1-4 to 10 points. They're still there. I have to give it to them. No matter... They've soaked up all kinds of pressure. They've taken all kinds of pressure, all kinds of knocks here, and there's still only that kick of a ball in it.
Yeah, they're not going away. Like, it's no different than the semi-final here against Hollywood. Like, and it was a last-minute goal is what they get. Like, and they're within a goal now, you know. So they're still there. Ewan Harper's coming on.
Ewan Harper comes onto the field. Looks like maybe Sean Weld after that cramp is going to go off. Is he? Yeah, he's going to come, so it's Ewan Harper is in for Sean Weld. Kick out will be from Billy Norman. We've a fascinating last 8 minutes in this one. It's a 3-point game. Annacurra 1-4, Éire 10 points. Anyone thought that this was going to be an easy run for Éire? This video should be played back to anyone that backs hot favourites. Long ball again, looks for Kevin Healy, gets a fist on a ball, breaks, he wins his own break. Good play by Healy, wins his free. Woods in with a high tackle there, wins his free. Should take his free now and not get involved as well. It just looked like he might be going to have a little bit of a bite at Danny Woods, but Alan Byrne comes forward, pops it off to Kevin Healy. Healy breaks the tackle, tries to get forward momentum for the Annacurra men. Looked like a loose pass, play on, says the referee. Healy takes the second pass, now he's third off. I thought that was a good tackle from Joe. I thought the first one was a free, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think it was too, and I thought he did really, really well on the original kick out, you know. But like this is a good chance now. We're going short again.
I thought they were going to pump a long ball in on top of Stephen Murphy there, but it's a loose ball, it's a line ball, and it's a line ball to Éire. At this stage of the game, you have to take your chance and pump those balls in, especially when you're down the man.
Yeah, I think so, because they're not going to get too many opportunities.
Again, Éire now in possession, right back there. Fiona Carroll has the ball, gives it back, and it's Peter Keane on the ball. Foot pass all the way across as far as Stephen Kelly. Kelly comes out 45 yards out, gives the ball to Danny Woods. Woods solos with this one, has a look up, gets the ball away to Killian. He's lost it, he spilled it, and Stephen Murphy picks it up. Murphy breaks 1, 2 tackles, needs support, has support now. This side of the field didn't opt to use it. Evan Doyle gets the ball, pops it off here as far as Ewan Harper. Stephen Murphy gives the ball back to Kevin Healy. Healy looks up, he tries to pick a little ball into Dylan Doyle. Oh, it's a hand in from Joe Prendergast, brilliant hand in from Prendergast. Ball breaks away as far as Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea takes 2 attempts. Is he over the line? No, says the referee. Healy's after him. O'Shea's away. He's away on his bike here. Chance for them to put 4 between it. Oh, brilliant play by Fintan O'Shea. Man inside is Killian Keenan. Acres of space. Has a look. Kicks this one high and kicks this one over the bar. A huge score for Éire on the burst. It's a 4-point game again, and just brilliant play from Fintan O'Shea there. He evaded tackle after tackle. He just seemed to keep going.
Yeah, real gutsy stuff, and kind of didn't give up and kept ploughing away, and they found the space to get the ball to Killian Keane, and he kicked a good score under pressure.
Kick out long down the middle of the field. Oh, he finds Stephen Murphy. Somehow it went through a lot of bodies there. Alan Byrne comes on the burst. Byrne pops it. Oh, late tackle on Byrne. Pops the ball off as far as Dylan Doyle. Doyle opts to keep going with this one. Peter Keane comes around. It's a head injury to Alan Byrne, I'd say, but
this has to be a black card anyway.
That's a heavy, late looking shot on Alan Byrne. So, what a run from Byrne at this stage of the game as well, though.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want your warriors at this stage, when the game is there to be won.
He's given him a yellow card there, and it looked, I thought that's what the black was brought in for, if I'm honest. Yeah, way late. Just looked at the replay, there's no...
No, without a shadow of a doubt.
There was no commitment to a tackle there. It was waiting till the ball was gone and just taking the man out, so...
Yeah, you're right, and that's one of the reasons the black card was brought in, if that's as clear cut a black card as you're going to see. I see Mick O'Brien warming up there now, so I'd say that means that we're not going to see Gerard Murphy at this stage.
No, I wouldn't imagine so. We've just about 26 minutes on the clock here. Alan Byrne still receiving attention. But again, any sort of a score off this for Annacurra and Éire are into gutsy. They're into having to be real gutsy.
Yeah, and you're right, and you could throw Stephen Murphy in on the edge of the square, and you never know what will happen. Yeah. I think maybe this is well within Frank's range, and probably the right thing to do, maybe try and kick this one and then try a working goal after that.
Alan Byrne looks to be in bother. He's not a fella that stays down for this length too often, and it was a huge hit because he was following the ball. Alan looking up. He's up and away.
So it'll probably make O'Brien will go in on the edge of the square anyway, and Mick's not a bad man to kind of disrupt the ball or whatever, or knock it down. He won't anyone catch it clean anyway.
Chance for Frank Clone here, right on the 45, kicks this one. Oh, it's gone away to the right and just wide, and just when they wanted to score, it's 1-4 Annacurra, 11 points here. We've 27 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, last throw of the dice now for Annacurra, and it's a 2-score game, and they need to put pressure on this kick out if they can.
Yeah, they need to push right up on it wherever. We do know that they're Billy Norm. Here comes Mick O'Brien. Glenn Austin is going to be called. So again, Tate Shanahan's gone looking for the kick out. Mick will have to get over there and get on it very quick. So Billy Norman to take this kick has just took another minute out of the clock as well. Even Annacurra's own changes took a minute out of it. Long kick from Norman, hangs this one up in there to be attacked by Joe Prendergast. Ball breaks through his hands. Dara Shield picks up the pieces and away come Éire into the hands of Fiona O'Carroll. O'Carroll 2 points as we said already. Good play by Evan Doyle though, just to stop and track them and knock the ball away. Made him take possession at the second attempt. Tate Shanahan finds a man in space as that man Danny Woods popped off inside as far as Dara Shield. Shield solos with the ball, has a look, kicks this one. It's dangerous, it's looping in. Punch on it there from Robert Fitzgerald gets the ball away as far as Joe Prendergast. Dave Rooney is outside. Prendergast looks to come inside on their right foot, pops the pass off to Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea again is just checked in his run, but holds possession really well. Kicks this one high, kicks it way to the left, but with time on the clock at 28 and a half minutes, it's probably not the worst kick he's ever made.
Yeah, probably the first rash decision though the Éire Óg have made, because they've been really smart, you know, and they've kind of held on to the ball and worked really hard, and maybe you're right, just get it off the field maybe as quick as you can.
Kick out will be from Bob Fitzgerald, a long one again down the middle of the field, looking for that man Stephen Murphy into the hands of Danny Woods. Though Woods does really well. Oh, it's well won on the ground. Won that dirty ball there. It gets a hand pass away. It's into the hands of Frank Clune. Clune in the middle of the field now. Clune wins. He's free. Darren Hayden, the two number 14s matching up. Clune looked to take it quickly maybe, but he needs to launch this one in. He's probably been a bit too particular at this stage, and it wasn't far enough away, and that's the second time Annacurra have been caught with that today. And simple things, little things all add up to big things.
Yeah, and then Éire Óg have to make another mistake, just kick the ball straight over the sideline. 4 minutes.
We'll have 4 minutes of injury time. We've half a minute of normal time left. Annacurra are in possession. Can they find something from somewhere? Or can Éire Óg just see this one out now? Frank Clune is dragged and held, and calls on the line for all sorts of colours of cards, but they're not coming. Frank Clune decides there's only one way to drop this one in. It's in on top of Mick O'Brien. O'Brien gets a handle, breaks to Conor Byrne. Byrne is gobbled up again by a numerous players. Back out to Mick O'Brien. O'Brien on the burst, tries to get his way through, hops it, gets it off to Stephen Murphy. Murphy lashes a shot. Think it hit Chester in the head there, or someone got a block on it. Good play again by the Éire Óg men. It was worth a try from there. A ball breaks down and it's a free out. Really well worked again by Éire Óg. They've just weathered the storm.
Yeah, they did, and they put fierce pressure on. First it was Conor Byrne. It looked like he could have won a free maybe, and then Mick O'Brien, they didn't give him a chance to get the shot away when Stephen Murphy did. There was plenty of bodies in the way.
Again, it's not James Woods, actually it's Killian Keane, I think, taking a moment there. He's got his free, little ball popped back and away come the Éire Óg men. Ball out as far as Peter Keane gets it up as far as Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea breaks with the ball, and Fionn O'Carroll gets it out as far as Darren Hayden. Away come the Greystones men. Up the line underneath the stand, long boot pass inside as far as Fintan O'Shea. He's been immense in this second half, to be fair to O'Shea. Ball again, he's just turned again by pure numbers from Annacurra. They just haven't stopped in that defence all day, but this time it's a foul and it's a free in from 45 yards out, and this will take a lot of the sting out of this one.
Well, and it's a pity really, because they had numbers. You can see Fintan O'Shea there now, he's absolutely out in his feet, so he was going to do nothing on the ball, so it's probably a free they just didn't need to give away.
Darren Hayden, number 6 Fionn O'Carroll is coming off, and number 22 Mick Cannon comes on. Number 21 Dominic O'Brien is also coming on. We'll just see who that is for in a second. Number 8 Killian Keane. Two massive performances there from O'Carroll and Keane, to be fair. Two of them coming off there just at the end.
Yeah, two of the younger players. I think Fiona's probably 21 and Killian is 20, so bright stars for the future for Éire Óg.
Darren Hayden has the ball in hand. We're up to the second minute of injury time. We've 2 to go. It was always going to go back there. Mick Cannon gives the ball to Darren Hayden. Hayden has the ball, taps it on his toe, gives the ball outside to Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea again on the run, kicks a foot pass. It's just a loose one. It's going to go all the way out over the end line. Does go out over the end line. Annacurra need this one quickly. I don't think there's enough time for 2 scores at this stage of the game. We're 2.5 minutes into injury time. There should be 4, so it'll have to be a quick transition, and Bob just deciding whether he's going to go long or short, and they need to get the ball to the other end very quick. Through the hands there again. Éire Óg very good in the tackle. They're just happy enough to foul at that end of the field now at this stage. Ball is out there as Annacurra come probing. Now they go long. Huge kick down the line. It's gone past everyone over there. James Woods will be first to it. Dara Shield is first to it. Mick O'Brien tackles. Shield comes away with the ball, does well, pops a little pass off to Peter Keane. Back out to Darren Hayden. Hayden solos, has a look, gives the ball out as far as Stephen Kelly. Kelly solos with this one, sizes up his options. He's lots of them inside. One of them is that man Darren Hayden. These 2 men have soldiered club and county for so long. They're about to get their club back up to the senior ranks by the looks of things. Dave Rooney is on this one, the number 7, pops it into Joe Prendergast. Prendergast solos, he'll check back, he had a man inside. It's that man, Danny Woods, he opts to go across the middle and into the hands of Dominic O'Brien. O'Brien pops it back and it's Darren Hayden in the middle of the field, right in the middle of the field here, kicks a long foot pass over as far as Fintan O'Shea. O'Shea solos, has a look, solos again, and it's their ball to do what they want with it at this stage. We're 20 seconds to go according to my watch here, so it's just Éire just taking the time out of the clock here. They're playing with the ball, and in fairness to Annacurra, they've given everything they can, and it just hasn't been enough on the day. Ball is in the hands of Darren Hayden. Hayden gives the ball back to Dominic O'Brien. O'Brien gives the ball out to Dave Rooney. Rooney was demanding that one. Rooney looks up, kicks a long foot pass inside to Mick Cannon. Cannon pops it back to Rooney. They've another man free on this wing if he looks up. Didn't look up, but it's back to Dominic O'Brien. O'Brien solos with this one. A tackle comes in there, but doesn't get there. James Woods pops the pass off into Danny Woods, into Peter Keane, back to Danny Woods, back to Dave Rooney. As the clock is down, we're well into the 4.5 minutes into injury time here. Peter Keane just evades a tackle there again, and Annacurra at this stage, they're out on their feet, they're chasing shadows, and it's Éire just doing enough with the ball to get themselves over the line, and it's a free. We're going to have there's a lot of blowing of the whistle there for whoever's going on.
Substitute for Éire coming on again.
Fintan O'Shea is going off after a huge stint there, to be fair to him, and David Dunn comes in, and number 24 Gavin O'Shea comes on as well. So it's been
Sam Thompson after actually coming in for
just
Gavin
at the
O'Shea.
end there. So Thompson, a leg heavily strapped. They're giving him his run right at the end, to be fair. He's instrumental in getting him here. Dylan Doyle gets the ball, goes crossfield with this one. Is there one more sting in the Annacurra tail, or Evan Doyle gets the ball? Big hit there on Doyle by Tate Shannon. Took it really well. Doyle pops a little pass off. Good play by both players there. Everyone up and away with it. Hand pass there out as far as Frank Lowe, and it's all over. Éire are back up senior. Annacurra gave them everything, threw everything they had at them, and it just wasn't enough on the day. Probably rode their luck a little bit, Annacurra as well, but you know, this Éire team, they never panicked. They played really, as you said, you know, I think one loose kick there at the post, you know, and Barnett was right, they didn't take it, to be fair to them.
Yeah, they did, like, and they did, and Éire, they worked really, really hard, and they had to work really hard, you know, because Annacurra made them do that, you know, and like they put fierce pressure on Annacurra all over the field. Like, it wasn't that they were so much better than, they worked equally as hard as Annacurra, and they had to do that. We spoke about that the other night, that, you know, the Éire would have to be up for this, and they were up for it, you know, and but, you know, it's Annacurra did as well as they could, you know, got down to 14 men, you know, didn't help, and Martin O'Brien had a great game up until then, and probably they just had to work so much harder then after that, down to 14.
Yeah, look, it's Éire now, up senior. Annacurra will live to fight another day. They won't be easy beaten in an intermediate next year, I suppose. But you have to give a huge shout out to the Éire men. Like, that second half from Fintan O'Shea was immense. You know, Darren Hayden was all over the place. Everywhere you looked, he was on in the first half. You know, Fiona Carroll was brilliant at centre back, but Darren Hayden, even in the first half, you were kind of wondering what he was doing so far back. You know, should he not go up and be more then? But he was just everywhere you looked. Every time someone had the ball, he was off their shoulder, he was demanding it. And that's what good players do, I suppose. And it's, you know, Stephen Kelly, Peter Keane, really solid at the back. James Woods was brilliant. Dave Rooney, brilliant. Danny Woods, you know, how much ball did Danny Woods handle? Joe Prendergast, you know, huge performances all over the field from him.
Yeah, definitely. There were so many of those Éire players that absolutely, out on their feet as well. Like, Fintan O'Shea got taken off because they'd absolutely nothing left, but he wasn't the only one. Like, every one of those Éire players ran themselves into the ground, you know. And when you play like that and you work like that, it means an awful lot more to you, a win. It really does. They had to really work hard for that. That's what they did, and they deserved their victory.
Yeah, look, we've had a good day here, a great game of football, cracking game. We're going to stay live for the presentation there now, so we'll chat to you in a few minutes. Annacurra for the senior final as well, coming up at 3:30. We have Bottomglass and St. Pat's in what should be a real cracker of a game. Make sure and tune in for that as well. Just stand where you are. Stand where you are now.
Want me to hold it?
Dan, thanks a million for taking a few minutes out soon after the final whistle. A huge battle there with Annacurra, unbelievable. You always probably knew it was going to come, but really threw everything at you, to be fair to them. But you know, a really patient build up, everyone playing their part for you. It was a real team performance.
Yeah, well, listen, you hear all the noise on the outside noise is telling us, yeah, you have won already, all this, but we know Annacurra. we've had numerous battles over the years. It's always about hard work and discipline. And listen, out there, first half, they were hitting fucking hard. Apologies for the language. They were hitting hard and we just had to withstand it. Second half, I think when they went down it probably helped us being able to stretch out the match a bit more because it was tight the whole way. And what was it in the end? Four in the end, was it?
4, and they never seemed to go. Every time you got that 4 point, they seemed to come back. But as you said, your discipline in that match, you stuck to what you believed in. You played through the hand. You know, you didn't take any shots. You didn't panic that you didn't need it. It was a huge. I'd call it a professional performance from you, to be honest.
Towards the end, it was probably a bit professional. We probably got a bit jittery towards the end, started giving a few free kicks away. But listen, we got the job done. Annacurra, I just have to give credit to them. For such a village, they come around with some great footballers, and their work ethic of the team is second to none. So just all credit to Annacurra on that. Listen, everyone's saying that we were going to get it easy today, but listen, we knew we weren't. We knew Annacurra serious outfit, and I'm sure they'll be back again next year.
And look,
but on ourselves, listen, we're looking forward to get to the senior next year and seeing what we can do again. It was a shame we went down last year, but we're back again.
Lovely, thanks a million, and very best of luck, and I hope you have a good night.
I'm talking during the thing.
All right. Well, I would like again to thank the grounds people in Aughrim for all their hard work all week to have the pitch in such great week today. I'd also like to thank the referee and you were there or thereabouts. Say, lads, if you have victory, could have happened. Well, one time, a great display today. Now without further ado, up Daniel Keane, captain of Éire Óg. First of all, I'd like to thank Martin, myself, Chris, County Board for all the work you do throughout the year, and also the sponsors this media championship from start to start. We've done so for so many years. Thanks very much. Thanking Nolan and team officials today. We all appreciate it's not easy to pass our team these games, especially when you have to some lads out there like myself, a couple of others. We appreciate how done a great job today. Well done again. Annacurra, hard luck today, lads. Listen, all year we've been getting told, yeah, it's going to be easy, we're going to win it, but we knew when we had you in the final, every single time we play you, it's a battle. It's never easy. We've watched your videos, seen your matches. It's a hard working team, full of intensity. And we knew you were going to throw that at us today. First half, that nothing in it. Second half, nothing in it. Probably when the man went down, it might have made a bit of a difference for us. We could stretch out the field a bit more. But lads, there's great young lads coming through. When a mix of your experience there, they're right back here again next year. Hard luck again. To all our fans, club members, family, friends, we appreciate the effort to make them all year to get to the game, especially today. We know it's an effort to get to these games, and we hope we made you proud today. Thanks again. Amongst the crowd, who are at every single match, are our former management team, who have put so many years into this team. 11 years ago, they won this title for the club, lads. And to Paul, Bill, Butch, Mick, I'd like to just say thanks for all the effort you put into the team. It's always remembered and highly appreciated. The current managing team, Chris Trainer, and the veteran team, Adrian Coyle, Danny Hines, Brian Keaveney, John Keane, John Lane. That's congrats on that new savage year. All year said it's been great, it's been thoroughly enjoyable. Today's just rewards for all the effort on and off the pitch you put in. Well done, lads. At the start of the year, lads, there's management we all met in the clubhouse. We said, right, we want actions for the year, we want to see how we're going to get them. We want two main outputs. First output was win the league. A couple of months ago, we ticked that box off. Second one was win the championship. Delighted today, we ticked that one off. Lastly, on to the players. There's one player I want to talk about before, Sammy Thompson. Unfortunately, he could only play a bit part today due to injury. Sammy, you're a class act. Listen, delighted to have you back in the panel this year. One of the best boards in the county, hands down. Delighted we got the job done today for you. 1 to 26.
on the intermediate, the junior B, the junior D teams. We trained all year for this, and the day 6 days will make it worthwhile. This will make it enjoyable winning these kind of games. Lads, we've events in a few weeks' time. Well, let's enjoy the next 2 days from the club. Come on!